When you're running a SpiderFoot scan, the first thing you want to do is give it a meaningful name. So let's start with My First Scan as a name. Then we need to define the list of targets that SpiderFoot will collect information about. Those targets can be new line or comma separated. If you want to see the list of target types that SpiderFoot supports, just click the Help button. Everything else beyond this point is optional, but let's walk through it anyway. Iteration tells SpiderFoot what it should do when it identifies new entities during a scan. So, for example, if a new IP address is found, should SpiderFoot attempt to identify information about it? Or, if a name is found within web content, should SpiderFoot attempt to identify information about that name? SpiderFoot modules are ultimately what do all the data collection and processing. You can configure which modules should be enabled individually, or you can toggle them by using these shortcuts here. So, for example, you can disable all modules and then only enable individual modules, or you can disable certain classes of modules. You can also select by group. Then, you can configure a few general options for the scan. Correlations are especially useful on large scans to help surface interesting data from the scan. Screenshotting will have SpiderFoot capture screenshots of dark web and other content that's found. And finally, you can request to receive an email notification when the scan is completed. Particularly for scans that run for quite a while, this can be useful. Before running your scan, take a moment to note your subscription limits and the number of API keys that you have configured, as these ultimately impact the amount of data you can collect. SpiderFoot doesn't strictly need API keys, but the more you have configured, the more information you'll be able to obtain from a wider variety of sources. You can run the scan. SpiderFoot will immediately start collecting data for your targets, and you can either watch and wait as the data is updated in real time, or you can check back once the scan completion email notification has arrived.